Hello. Today I'm going to talk about higher education and innovative pedagogic practices. This concern for innovative pedagogic practices comes in the wake of COVID-19, which has suddenly taken our regular mode of higher education to online classes, which has been not very welcomed by most of us, but due to the conditions where we are not able to move out, our hostels are not available. In classrooms, we cannot sit together, and the time and distance required in traveling is not conducive for stopping this COVID-19 infection. So the classes has been shifted to online mode. Now, how does this affect the regular mode of higher education? I'm not going to talk about the higher education mode, which was already online. We had a distance mode or online mode available to us online. First of all, if we know the structure of education worldwide, it is primary, secondary, and then in India, senior secondary and tertiary. So at tertiary level, which is known as which is what we are addressing as higher education. So in that, higher education can be roughly divided into three modes. And the fourth mode, which I'm also going to mention, and we have to be be aware about it. Now, after schooling, when our students look out, our children look out for, or our young generation looks out for educational opportunities, we offer them certain learning institutions, and in which the popular being the undergraduate programs offered and under higher education. And there we realize that regular mode of college, of course glorified lot by Hindi cinema and Bollywood, is it becomes a choice of students. Well, that is a reason, if not the main reason, but most of them also want to step into that adulthood with responsibility of a valid form of knowledge that will help them survive in society, the knowledge that will nurture their selfhood, their identity, and also will provide them with degrees that will gain them a social status and employment as well. So higher education becomes, if you can say, foothold for adult life. Now, in this confusion which COVID-19 has created, so we what other options we offer? First of all, the options we offer is, of course, I talked about colleges, and then which are run by universities. Either the undergrad programs are run by universities or colleges, or or they are also in the distance mode. So you can pursue under education through distance mode. Now, which might be using online intensively as a tool, apart from classes that are held from time to time, but not on regular basis. But the third, which this technological advancement world over has made popular, is the online courses offered by many websites. Many universities are encouraged, even Indian government encourages Swayam and other portals where online higher education, if we not say higher education, but some sort of tertiary level education or some sort of higher education is available to the students. It is not a full course degree program, but some sort of education is available. But when we talk of higher education, as we are part of Jamia Millia Islamia or the universities, we have to realize the qualitative difference and impact in life of students we make. And I take four core values of education: knowledge, self, values, and survival. These are the four core values of education throughout that we focus on time and again at every level. A value could be more important, another could be less important, but all four of them are important. And what does a higher education degree actually gives to our students? It provides them with a degree, and it provides them with a social status. Oh, you're a graduate, you're a postgraduate, in which subject, in which area. And then at the same time, it gives them a socialization. It offers them socializes them to several values, especially when they're in higher education institutions like we are, of full-fledged universities, old universities with a rich heritage and historical past, not only a legacy, but a legacy of knowledge that we carry over the 100 years we would have contributed to that area, or as much old the department is. So that socialization, academic socialization, the friendship with teachers, among the peer, a multicultural background that higher education institutions offer. Now, all this is effective during COVID pandemic, and we have to be mindful of that for our students. Of course, the two-way learning, where we can also learn from students because they come from different backgrounds, we are missing that. uh, After this, the socialization which is provided to them along with the degree and then the social status which they are gaining, because you go to that college, or you're going to that college, or even after the degree, it will be clearly, under their nameplate. This offers them leadership qualities to lead the society with their ideas. We have known of knowledge economy, we have known of knowledge communities in these days, where together we are supposed to put together knowledge in a community area and solve our day-to-day problems. And higher education plays a very critical role in that. Apart from the main role which it does, which we think which it has been doing, is job, is employment. So apart from employment, there are the leadership qualities even in the society which are required by the society, and which our youth offers to the society with the various degree programs they do. Now, when I talk of these core values, and I talk of these services provided by higher education, five objectives served by higher education, how these have been affected in the pandemic areas, and how pandemic times, and how are we supposed, and how are we compensating for them, for it. So first of all, when we are providing them a degree, so we have to be corresponding to knowledge. We have to be really mindful of what knowledge are we offering to the students. So in that, first is the content. What content? So what I'm sure all of you as the teachers are already aware, whatever topic you teach to the students, you are aware of. You are aware of its organization, its research level work, or even as a phenomena in the society. I'm sure you take care of that knowledge area. But in these pandemic times, the more critical thing is how you deliver it to the student. How are you discussing it with the students? What are the methodologies that you're using? Now, we also have to be mindful that even when higher education programs were running in the universities, we were already using some online resources, or our students were using it freely, and we were also substantiating it with the online classroom or a Google group. But now it is only based on this. So when we do this, we really have to be mindful of giving some sort of communication mannerism on these online classes, apart from the technical knowledge that is required to log in, to log out, to mute your mic, but also communication mannerism, which is very important that every student gets a chance. Last year, while conducting my own classrooms, there was a concern by a student that uh, we are not getting a chance to speak. So in large number of classes, however, there are tools. Technology is smarter. There are two kinds of tools which I every day get email about, is how to keep tap on your student, whether the student is there in your class or not. But I think if I correspond to the values, it is more by reaching out personally to the student and forming the peer groups that you can help the students participate even in an online class. I know it is difficult, but a phone call from a classmate, and a phone call from you, or a WhatsApp message from you would really, really help the class participate and listening to the problems, because learner is not getting time to tell their problems face to face to you. In our public run institutions, we take special care that students background is we are mindful of the students background, language, medium, socio-economic background, to make student participate in the class and use the program effectively for their own personal development and development of the self, like I said, which will be more critical in these times. So a personal reaching out, a personal message, and a networking of a group with your students. So form a very strong networked group where information about each student, about their well-being, about how their understanding is passed on. This can be personal communication. Apart from that, what tool you are using, Google Classroom or any other, use innovative tools. Each tool has an advantage and it has its own disadvantages. I mean, you can even use a Facebook group, which is more informal, and a WhatsApp group, a Google Classroom, or other educational apps, which are some of the free versions which are available. Now you have to see how many students can use it. So you have to use it sufficiently for the class. The easiest being Google Classroom to turn in the assignment, and then then you can give your comments. But how the students would talk about the topic, how would they present? Now, for that, there are other educational apps where you want a student to what they are presenting, and everyone is able to say something about it. Because just by presenting and say, "Aap kuch kahiye," it usually doesn't happen. How will you hold their attention? So, for holding their attention, providing them the copy of the presentation, and or for that matter, using different apps, concept maps, presentations, a short summary, or a video is very, very useful. So like for this pandemic, when we know in second wave our students and their families are affected, what we have done is uploading a summary, which is expectation of the university about every class that we are taking. Maybe it can be 5 lines. Then the second level, what we have done is, if you want individual consultation for the topic, we do that. And third is, one of our students have, or few students have agreed that they can summarize the class, and then they can send small voice messages, which is much more suitable to somebody who's unwell, and to just listen to them. Because many of them at one point were really reluctant for the classes, but when we just talked to them, we reached out to them, they wanted the classes. Because when we discussed that you are the leaders, you have no option, you are like a doctor, or undergraduate, or a postgraduate is almost like is a social scientist, is like a scientist works on their science in their area. A social scientist has to work on these areas, so they cannot. It may not be very nice for them to feel to neglect what they already own. So I think that kind of conversations with them made them realize, and when we showed them what the society really needs right now, like in my area, my own area, child development, they're the most crucially affected children. They are orphaned. So Delhi government, for that matter, has taken a decision that free education for them, or how to rehabilitate the children who have lost their parents. Now, these are some of the crucial issues that even if the time we are alive and we have the knowledge, it is only we who are going to help the society. So here the leadership goal along with employment is very critical. I hope you like the article.